Chairwoman Loomis, Chairman Brown, Ranking Member Swalwell, Ranking Member Maffei, and members of the committee, thank you for inviting me to testify here today. My name is Rob Gramlich. I'm the Interim Chief Executive Officer of the American Wind Energy Association. We represent 1,200 companies involved in all aspects of wind energy production, manufacturing, supply chain, construction companies, etc. Americans are getting a good deal on wind energy, and there's nothing in this GAO report that changes that claim. I hope the subcommittees keep in mind that a program, per se, is not an incentive, and an energy program for which wind is one of the eligible resources does not make it a wind program. The wind tax credits, PTC and ITC, still account for almost all Federal support, which we all already knew, and of course, all energy resources receive some form of Federal incentive. Americans are getting a good deal on wind energy. Last year, wind energy was the #1 source of new electric generation capacity. Wind energy provided over 80,000 full-time U.S. jobs and injected $25 billion of private investment into the U.S. economy in a single year. Today, wind projects in 39 states and Puerto Rico generate enough electric power for over 15 million American homes. At least 74 electric utilities bought or owned new wind power installed in 2012, up 50% from just a year ago. Already, Iowa and South Dakota produce enough wind energy to meet more than 20% of their electricity needs, and wind energy now produces more than 10% of the electricity in 9 states. Wind projects in the U.S. bring economic growth to rural communities. They pay roughly $400 million in property taxes or similar payments to communities, and annual lease payments to farmers and ranchers amount to around $120,000 per turbine over its lifetime. And wind energy is helping to revitalize American manufacturing, with 550 manufacturing facilities in 44 states supplying the industry as domestic content has shot up to almost 70% made in the USA. We see nothing in this report that show anything other than that Americans are getting a good deal on wind. The report suggests that 82 initiatives support wind when only 2 are truly wind-specific. It counts dozens of initiatives that are defunct, rarely or never financially supported wind energy or are regulatory in nature. Regulatory programs are not incentives. They don't drive development. It counts some initiatives twice or more. Even the biggest potential for supposed program duplication identified by GAO was relevant less than 1% of the time. GAO's report stated that, and I quote, "Nearly all Federal financial support for wind energy was in 2 programs. And one of those programs, the 1603 program, has expired." So again, it's the wind tax credits, PTC and ITC, that we all knew about. Only 2 initiatives are truly wind only, meaning 97% are available for other activities or have equivalent programs that are. And one of these 2, Bonneville's wind integration effort, is aimed at non-discriminatory transmission service, and it's not a wind incentive either. Half of the initiatives listed specifically support non-renewable sources of energy as well, or have equivalent programs at the same agency that do so. There are many other programs that support non-renewable technologies that were not addressed in this report. GAO acknowledges that nearly 90% of the initiatives identified here provided little to no financial support for wind energy. In fact, the vast bulk of the support was still just those two incentives. Even in the area where GAO identified the biggest potential for duplicate financial support, namely with tax credits, grants, and loan guarantees, there is no basis for countering the claim that wind is still a good deal. The GAO report fails to note that fewer than 1% of wind projects installed from 2009 through 2012 took both a tax incentive and a DOE loan guarantee. That's 4 projects out of 500. All 4 of those exceeded and are projects with long-term contracts to sell the power, so there's no cost to the taxpayer. There are statutory prohibitions against claiming several of the tax incentives on a single project. So we believe that any full and accurate picture of incentives for wind energy will find that the limited incentives available to wind energy are of great value to the country. Thank you again for the opportunity to appear today. I'm happy to answer any questions.